with another live stream. I want to come to y'all. I definitely want to say on this day of 9/11 of the commemoration. First of all, I want to start off by saying to all the ones who was actually lost, during this very sick, excuse me, I'm sorry, this some very sick tragedy for real. That happened over 20 years ago. You know, I want to start off by saying, like, I remember those days. I remember that day like it was yesterday. And I just remember just like seeing it up on, the television and stuff like that, right? And I remember, leaving school, coming home, seeing the whole 9/11 thing take place. I was actually in the 12th grade. Hey, Clarissa. I was in the 12th grade and stuff like that. And I remember just seeing and how, when the Twin Towers came down, stuff like that, all the lives were lost. All those innocent people that was actually lost, during this tragedy, of this day of 9/11, September the 11th. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want to like send, honor, to those who fallen. And I definitely will say, to all the innocent people that passed in that building, in those buildings, man, I definitely want to say stuff like that. And many people been having, hey Willie Rivers, hey Trauma Hawk, hey Chi Nana, hey Queen of a Creek, and many people had a lot of questions, about the whole entire, 9/11 situation, and stuff like that, and many people were still wondering, why, that situation happened. And what I'm gonna do is today, I'm actually gonna read something. I'm actually gonna read something right here today, why that situation has happened. And me putting myself on the front line today, man, this is even more, what I'm saying, more front line. We recognize, what I'm saying, like this is something much more deeper than what we thought it was. You feel me? And today I'm actually going to read to some of y'all, what I'm saying, the Nesara Act. I'm going to read the Nesara Act today. I haven't done it in a while. I've read it to y'all many times, but it's been new subscribers who have not heard of this act. And I want y'all, I'm actually going to read to y'all today the Nesara. I'm actually going to read this to y'all today because I feel as though people really need, I think people really need to hear this right here today. Because this information that I'm going to uncover is going to be really amazing. And to us over here as the original people and for humanity around the world. And I'm actually going to read from part one. And I'm actually going to read right about here, what I'm saying. Matter of fact, I'm going to start from right here. All right, check it out right. All right, check it out right. Hey, Cherie. Hey, Shay Marie. They said in 1998, right, the military generals who were originally participating in the farmers' claims process realized of implementing the Accord, so they decided that the only way to implement the Reformation was through law passed by Congress. In 1999, a 75-page document known as the National Economic Security Reformations Act, which is called Nesara, was submitted to Congress, where it sat little action for almost a year. Late one evening on March 9, 2000, a written quorum call was hand delivered by the Delta Force of Navy SEALs to 5 members of the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House who were sponsors and co-sponsors of Nesara. They were immediately escorted by the Delta Force of the Navy SEALs to their respective voting chambers, and they had passed the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. The Reformation Act, 18th Amendment. Now, peep this, right? They said Nesara is, yep, remember, British soldiers destroyed copies of the titles of nobility in the War of 1812 because it prevented anyone who had ties to the Crown of England from holding public office. Nesara is the most groundbreaking reformation to sweep not only this country but our planet in its entire history. This act does away with the Federal Reserve Bank, the IRS, the shadow government, and much more. Here's what Nesara is going to implement. Get them lights up, family. Lights up. Nesara implements the following changes. Zeroes out all credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and investment activities. This is the Federal Reserve's worst nightmare. Employees of this will be transferred into the U.S. Treasury National Sales Tax area. Creates a 14% flat rate on non-essential new items, sales tax revenue for the government. In other words, food and medicine will not be taxed, nor used items such as old homes. Increases benefits for senior citizens, returns constitutional law to all courts and legal matters, reinstates the original title of nobility amendment. Hundreds of thousands of Americans under the control of foreign powers will lose their citizenship, be deported to other countries, and barred from re-entry the remainder of their life. And millions of people will discover their college degrees are now worthless paper. Establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days after Nasara's announcement. The interim government will counsel all national emergencies and return us back to constitutional law. Monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities of special interest groups. Creates a new U.S. Treasury rainbow currency backed by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals. Ended the bankruptcy of the United States initiated by Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1933. Yup, in 1933. Forbids the sale of American birth certificate records as chattel property bonds by the United States Department of Transportation. Initiates a new U.S. Treasury bank system in alignment with constitutional law. Eliminates the Federal Reserve System. During the transition period, during the trans, I'm sorry, during the transition period, the Federal Reserve will be allowed to operate side by side of the United States Treasury for 1 year in order to remove all federal notes from the money supply. Restores financial privacy, retrains all judges and attorneys in constitutional law, seizes all aggressive U.S. government military actions worldwide, establishes peace worldwide, releases enormous sums of money for humanitarian purposes, and also, last but not least, enables the release of over 6,000 patents of suppressed technology that are being withheld from the public under the guise of national security, including free energy devices, anti-gravity, and sonic healing machines. Did y'all hear what? This is the book that you need to get. If you have not got it, you got to get this book. This ties into 9/11. Oh, while I'm reading this today, now they trying to buffer me. Should I keep reading? Hey, Marcella Muhammad. Should I keep reading? Hey, C Mac, what's going on? All right, okay, bet. He said proceed. He said, that's right. Yep. Now check it out. He said because President Clinton's clone had no interest in signing Nesara into law, on October the 10th, 2000, orders under orders from the U.S. military generals, the elite Navy SEALs, and the Delta Force stormed the White House, and then at gunpoint, secret personnel were ordered to stand down and were disarmed and allowed to witness this event under a gag order. From its very inception, Bush Sr., the corporate government, major bank houses, and the Carlyle Group have opposed Nesara. To maintain secrecy, the case details on the docket number was sealed and revised within to reflect a commemorative to reflect a commemorative coin, and then again it was revised even more recently. This is why there are no public congressional records and why search for this law will not yield for the correct details under the reformations are made public. You probably never heard of this law due to an extremely strict gag order placed under petitions, media personnel, and bank officers. Hey, Sage. Hey, girl. Hey, y'all. Sage right here. Hey, girl. Hey. Yeah, come over here with me. All right, check it out, right? They say even though Alex Jones or Ron Paul but not tell you about it, the law is still valid. And members of Congress would not tell you any of this because they have not been ordered by the Supreme Court justices to deny the existence of Nesara or faces charges of treason punishable by death. Some members of Congress have been actually charged with obstruction of justice. We're here to, it says, we're here to the nation's capital to tell the story that we've got an economic convulsion in agriculture. We got a lot of broken dreams, a lot of broken families, a lot of broken lives, and we're not going to take it any longer. They said, Minnesota, come on, Sage, you can't be on the book, girl. Come on, watch out, girl. Hey, girl. That's her. That's my girl, Sage. All right, check it out though, right? They said Minnesota Paul Wellstone was about to break the gag order, but before he could, his small passenger plane crashed, killing his wife, daughter, and himself. If this isn't enough to keep Congress in line, money is. The CIA routinely robbed senators with stolen loot from the bankroll programs. Every senator has been bribed with a minimum of $200 million deposited in Canada. You will never hear the media news network report about Nesara. To maintain silence, major news networks such as CNN are paid to the tune of $2 billion annually. This loot funneled by the Mormon Church in Utah through Senator Orrin Hatch's office in Bank of America. Not only Congress is bribed, but the entire Joint Chiefs of Staff in the upper tier of the government, including the president himself, received these payments as well. They said only the provost marshal has lawful authority to arrest these individuals, but sadly he won't do this job neither. It seems that the United States military is full of pencil pushing politicians who care more about advancement of doing their jobs, and not surprisingly, much disinformation about Nesara can be found on the internet. Mm, 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 mm. I know. Of course they are, because I'm talking about something real deep on this day. Yep, they said, all right, now check it out. They said prominent naysayers include on courtloos.com, which is rumored to be a CIA front. Nesara.org, which is maintained by the Bush family. Sherry Schroeder and various internet channelers received their messages by psychopathic spoofs have all contributed to the confusion. They say even the information we could, they buffering. Yup, National Economic Stabilization and Recovery Act, which would have made reforms to the economy to replace income tax with national sales tax. This law was rejected in Congress in the 1990s, but there's little mention of the National Economic Security Reformation Act on Wikipedia or its ramifications. The next step is to announce Nesara to the world, but it's not an easy task to do. Many powerful groups try the implementation of Nesara. The Nesara law requires that at least once a year, an effort be made to announce the law to the public. Three current U.S. support cream, let me slow down. Three current U.S. Support cream judges control the committee in charge of the announcement. These judges have used their overall authority to seek to sabotage its announcement. They said in 2001, after much negotiation, the Supreme Court judges ordered to pass resolutions approving Nesara. This took place on September 9th, 2001, 18 months after Nesara came law. On September 10th, 2001, George Bush Sr. moved into the White House to steer his son to block the announcement. The next day, on September the 11th at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Alan Greenspan was scheduled to announce the new U.S. Treasury bank system, debt forgiveness for all U.S. citizens, and the abolishment of the IRS as the first part of the public announcement of Nesara. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Get them likes up, family. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. That's why they keep buffering, right? They don't want the truth to come out. Yep. Did y'all hear what I read? Get them likes up, family. Get them likes up. Did y'all hear what I just read? Exactly. Because it was supposed to be announced at 10 o'clock a.m. on this day 20 years ago. Just before the announcement at 9 o'clock a.m., Bush Sr. ordered the demolition of the World Trade Center to stop the international banking computers on floors 1 and 2 in the North Tower from initiating the new U.S. Treasury bank system. What's going on, Nuff? Peace, bro. Islam, man. What's going on? Yup. And check it out. They said explosive in the World Trade Center were planted by the CIA and the Mossad operatives and detonated remotely in Building 7, which was demolished later that day in order to cover up the crime. Remote polytech used in the flyover event to deliver payload of explosives in the Pentagon at the exact location of the White Knights at the new Naval Command Center, who were coordinating activities such supporting Nesara's implementation worldwide. With the announcement of Nesara's stop dead in its tracks, George Bush Sr. decapitated any hopes of returning the government back to the people. While CIA Osama bin Laden is made to the boogeyman, the country dashed off to fight off in the war of terror. They said the events 9/11 actually led the way to the slaughter of Iraqi people. To keep the public unaware of the carnage, the official death count of U.S. soldiers and Iraqi officials purposely underreported. Deceased U.S. soldiers are being dumped into the Persian Gulf or replaced with clones. As of 2009, the total death count of Iraqi citizens surpasses a staggering 1.6 million people. The same Cook statistics apply to the death tolls on the day 9/11. According to the government, 2,752 people died that day, when actually 30,700 people have died. No one questions the insanely small numbers given out the government because New York City is a large place. People with loved ones do not make contact with others, so they have no way of knowing how people actually died. They said the Bush family was originally offered $300 trillion to cooperate with Nesara, but instead they chose to maintain the control over us. So in the end, Bush family would end up with nothing. The attacks of 9/11 had managed to stop the announcement of Nesara. Then in the tracks, many more attempts have been made over the years, but the Bush family has managed to stop them. Are y'all hearing what I'm reading? Are y'all hearing this? That's right, Brandon Reed. That's right. That's right, Brandon Reed. Get this book. Matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all. Get both of them. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. This is why, remember the time when Jadakiss asked that question? Why did Bush knock down the towers? This is why. This is why. Yup. And Nesara. And I talked to a good source, and he told me Nesara is still happening. Nesara is still happening. That's right, Brian Bonner. 140s, yup. Yup, tell him, Brian Bonner. 140 zeros. Hey, girl. This is what we're going to be dealing with. What's up, Rashid? Global debt forgiveness. Hey, girl. Hey. You like the book, Sage? Hey, girl. Come on, you gotta get your booty out my face, girl. Well, we glad to see you, Sage. We glad to see you, baby. Oh, now they trying to buffer me. See that? Hey, girl. Now they want to buffer me. What's up, girl? Yup. Matter of fact, let me read about this. Global debt forgiveness. All right, they say universal debt forgiveness in the imminent global debt jubilee. They said when debt is fraudulent, debt forgiveness is the logical only remedy. Yep, they said debt or credit which cannot be paid back is never an asset, always a liability. All debt which charges a percentage originates in delusion. Debt grows exponentially indefinitely. Income and other financial growth cannot do this. The total amount of money in circulation in the West can only pay for a tiny fraction of the total private and public debt in the West. The fact evidence of this systemic fraud. Yep. They said debt is manufactured. Debt is manufactured through fraudulent means to reward creative criminal elite. If the intention of a financial transaction tied to a loan or tied to a financial inducement is extortion. If it is in effect an elite bankster scheme to bamboozle the borrower with small print or to blind him with signs, that loan or inducement should be struck off the record immediately and completely. The debt was not incurred with the informed consent of the borrower. The debt did not benefit the borrower, and the elite lender was well aware of these facts when the loan papers were signed. You cannot solve the debt problem by issuing more debt. You solve the debt problem by canceling, completing all national, corporate, and personal debt. You do this simultaneously across the planet, and you do it permanently. Thank you, C-Mac. Yo, yeah, you know I gotta represent B-More City. Oh yeah, that's my girl. They seen the cut, Sage. That's my girl. She chilling. They said, yup. They said, you did not slide rule a tables or high frequency trading algorithm to see the light. Everyone on Main Street knows that the Western cabal's fixation with fiat capitalism is a busted flush. Debt does not work as the basis of global financial. Behind the scenes, all indications that universal debt forgiveness is set to be announced. A global debt jubilee is waiting in the wings. A doctrine of debts I'm just excited, has been spectacularly revisited. Let me slow down. I'm just excited to read this. Thank you, Supreme Ruler. Thank you, Supreme Ruler. Get them likes up, family. This is some serious information that I'm reading. Let me slow down. I'm just excited. The default position of the global financial system is to be permanently reset. The vaults are stocked. The precious metals are audited. The new gold-backed regional currencies are printed, minted, and ready. That's why we've been telling y'all to go into gold, silver, and platinum precious metals, meaning it's ready. The most recent catalyst for change has been Iraq. Before the Western cabal US-UK war of occupation and plunder began in Iraq, March 2003, Iraqi exiles expressed the hope that in the post-Saddam democratic Iraq, that would be a fair, equitable disposition of Saddam's debt. These Iraqis wanted the future administration of Iraq and the international community to review the debts accumulated under Assad's regime. Those loans have been used for benign purposes should be restructured and paid back by Iraq over a prudent time period. These loans, which were used for objectionable purposes, which did nothing to enhance the well-being or prosperity of the Iraqi population at large, should be struck off the record immediately and completely. Do y'all see this right here? This illustrates one of the core principles of the debt forgiveness. Why should Iraqis be forced to repay the U.S., the British, the French, the Germans, the Russians, and all those others who have financially supported Saddam's oppression of them? The Iraqi argument for debt forgiveness had a sound basis in law. It reflects the old century legal principle of the doctrine of dubious debts. The doctrine of odious debts. Odious debts was created to further international finance by limiting the ability of government to repudiate debts. 3 conditions had to apply before a sovereign state could repudiate a debt. The debt must have been incurred with the informed consent of the citizenry of the state. The debt must not have been benefited the citizenry of the state. The lender must have been aware of the conditions and at that time that loan papers were signed. The United employed these principles after the Spanish-American War to repudiate Cuban debts. Woo! Man, man, this is deep. And let me show you how much that is owed. I'm about to find the page. Hey, what's up, y'all? Give me a second. I'm glad that y'all on this chat. Give me 1 second. Woo! Matter of fact, let me start right here. Let me start right here. Yup. They said, yup, now check this out, right? You know what? Matter of fact, you know what? Let me go back. Woo! Y'all better get ready. Y'all better get ready. Y'all better get ready. Get ready, fam. Check this out, right? Yeah, matter of fact, let me start from here. Let me start from here. Nesara now. Check it out. They said the beginnings of this law took place in the early 1990s when the banks began to illegally foreclosure on, farmers' homes. They also said the Live Aid concerts was one of the fundraisers to help these farmers. The farmers got together when they realized what was going on. They started the lawsuit against the government in retaliation as the government set the IRS against the lawyers. As a result, the lawyers requested the assistance of military generals. These generals were sent in the courtrooms to make sure the bribed judges would rule in favor in constitutional law. It was determined in these cases that not only were the banks legally foreclosing on mortgages, but the money itself was worthless. The dollar has no precious metal supporting it. Because the Constitution states that only gold and silver can be accepted forms of coinage, these judges ruled the Federal Reserve banking system to be illegal and to be abolished. These trials went all the way to the Supreme Court. Years passed and the generals realized that the government had no intentions to abolish the Fed. As a result, the order was given to surround Congress and force members to sign Nesara into law under gunpoint. This happened on March 9, 2000, the same day that Biggie passed. They're under gunpoint. Just so much information. I'm just so excited. They're under the gunpoint of elite Navy SEALs in the Delta Force on October 10, 2000. Bill Clinton signed this act into law. This was necessary because the Illuminati are in full control of the government. Also, the Clintons were never lawfully elected. Ross Perot was lawfully elected to be president. Wow. Nesara requires all members of Congress and the president to resign and new elections take place. It disbands the Federal Reserve Bank and replaces it with currency of the U.S. Treasury backed by precious metals. All debt will be zeroed out to make way for the new currency. The IRS replaced with a national sales tax. Woo! Y'all gonna get this work today. Yup. That's right. Nesara, listen to this. Nesara releases all suppressed technologies such as free energy devices, which should clean up all pollution and cure all diseases, even old age. Do y'all hear what I just said? Listen. Can clean up all pollution. Thank you, Lisa Jackson. Cure all diseases, even old age. And if y'all like to support the PayPal and the Cash App, Supreme Ruler, thank you for putting up the links. Listen, it also begins refunds of stolen monies to be given out in the form of debit cards. Listen, every American citizen over the age of 21 will receive $100,000 a month for 11 years as compensation for all the evil perpetuated against them by the American Federal Empire. Woo! Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Let me read it again. And I'm going to give y'all the book. Read it. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. God is supposed to say, what? When? Yup. Come on. Let me read it again. Every American citizen over the age of 21 will receive $100,000 a month for 11 years as compensation for all the evil perpetuated against them by the American Federal Empire. This is real reparations. Listen to that. That means everybody. Come on, you original people. That's us. You can find it on Amazon. Thank you, Michelle, for the donation. Thank you for the support. And you also like the support. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Ruler got the links. Oh my gosh. Come on, man. Oh my gosh. Let me find that page. Y'all got me so excited. 100,000 a month for 11 years. Folks, no microchipping will be required for this refund, unlike some of you have believed. According to a secret FBI, CIA, NSA study, 1 out of 10 Americans can have already been chipped by the Greys. This research, known as Roper report, was sent over to 100,000 psychologists. Those involved with the Christian cult refuse to look at the fact that we are already chipped, many of whom include them. Now understand, the Fed is not a federal bank. It is a privately owned bank controlled by the most wealthy families of the world. These people are like leeches off the lifeblood of the world's poor. They include 300 of the world's wealthy bank families, such as the Windsors, Lazar brothers, Rothschilds, and Rockefellers. Even the Bush family has a piece of the pie. They own the Carlyle Group, which is worth $370 trillion. All money to be paid. All money paid to the IRS is deposited into the Fed and distributed to them. 63% to the Crown of England in various banking families, 27% to the world's 300 wealthy Illuminati families, and 10% to the employees of the IRS. The Crown is 1 square mile country located in the central part of London, owned by the House of Windsor, the British monarchy. It said Nesara will pay them off, so they will give up their monopolies. All money paid to the IRS has gone to the federal bank since 1913. It is estimated the Fed has stolen over $500 trillion, less interest and inflation over this period of time. And listen, yup, they said money is raised via CAFR from the comprehensive annual financial reports, CIA drug trafficking and arms trafficking as well. That's right. The constitutional government that we believe is no more. It was bankrupted in 1933. That's what the New Deal was all about. In 1933, the constitutional government was dismantled and designed. This New World Order government was formed as a new corporation under called the United States of America. That was when we turned as a corporation back in 1933. Its property includes its property includes all lands, property, and even we the people. Did y'all hear that? Its property includes all lands, property, even we the people, which means everybody is property. They are using us as chattel. This is why we have social security numbers, why the government can deduct from our wages from the IRS. Today, the shadow government is running the show, using this money to finance secret black ops and involving ETs and much more. The amount of wealth the Illuminati has stolen is astonishing, huge. It is incomprehensible to the average man. The world's GDP is estimated about $30 trillion annually. However, the total wealth of the Illuminati is in excess tens of quadrillion dollars. But even so, they are not the wealthiest group on the planet. The wealthiest person is Saint Germain. His trust fund was set up over 280 years ago in 1729. These funds were meant to be released in the year 2000 for benevolent purposes. Listen to this. Listen to this. Brian Bonner, you ready? Today, that fund is worth $1 quadrillion. Look at the numbers. I'm going to show y'all. Look at all those zeros. You see it? Look at all them damn zeros. Quadrillion. That's what this is, our money. They owe us. They owe us. They owe us. The US owe us. Look at that money. Look at it. Quadrillion. Come on. Probably more than that. Look at that. That's enough to buy a gold cube the size of the orbit of Saturn. So astronomical, the average person will not be able to believe it. The biggest wealth, and it's ours. Catch me outside. What? Yes, how there's no secret how the Illuminati made their money. This is how they made their money. This is how the deep state, these devils made their money. Look at that. Give us that back in gold. Give us all of that. I want it in gold. Fuck the fee. I want the gold. Gold, silver, platinum, precious metals. And the land. Much of the funding for Nesara began 100 years ago. Yep. And listen, the children of the robber barons begin to put aside some of the family's money into secret trust funds. This money, along with Saint Germain Trust, was meant to be released into the world to make right some of the wrongs of their parents. This money will be used to buy out all oil companies, energy conglomerates, banks, pharmaceutical cartels, and zero out all debt. Nesara literally ushers in the golden age of humanity. The golden age of humanity. Thank you, Supreme Ruler. And if you'd like to donate to the platform, Supreme Ruler got the links, you know what I mean, to support the channel. Any amount is appreciated. Get them likes up, family. Get them likes up. Come on, y'all. Good Grand Rising on 9/11. And all the families who lost, man, they definitely deserve it as well. Man. Whew. Fire. Yup, because look at that. Nesara was planned to be announced. Look at that. At 10 o'clock a.m. I'm going to let y'all look for it for yourself. Look at it. Look. See? See where my finger's at? I got you, Goddess Wisdom. That's right, Brian Bonner. Yup, trading places. Trading places. That's what that movie was telling us. We trading places. Look at Sage. Sage looking like, yeah. Even Sage looking like, damn, yeah, girl. Yeah, get the book. Oh, yeah, Supreme Ruler. Oh, yeah. I know. Y'all looking like, damn. Matter of fact, let me read. Oh, man. That's right. They got to pay up, man. It's time for them to pay up. Look at that. Prosperity programs in Nesara. Got you enough. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let y'all see it. Oh, thank you, Brandon Reed, for the support. Hell yeah. Get the books. They on Amazon. Oh yeah, C-Mac. Mm-hmm. Prosperity programs. Man, we are in the golden age of prosperity. This is what's going to be coming. This. I mean, yo, can you imagine? I'm quattro decillion dollars. Yo, look at it. I'm gonna try to get a good look at it. See where my fingers at? Yeah, it says like, that sound good, girl? Look at that. Hey, girl. Hey. Come on, girl. Hey, the ferretess. We reading. That's right. That's right. No, the people must know who the crooks are first to get them out before the sorrow happened. That's why That's why Trump was draining the swamp. That's why Donald Trump was saying drain the swamp to get rid of these individuals who's been running the goddamn world. So we can bring forth this. In the United States, it's called Nesara, the National Economic Security Reformation Act. But around the world, it's called GSARA, the Global Economic Security Reformation Act. Oh, wow, True Tribe. That's crazy. Yes. Hey, girl. Mm-hmm. That's your good girl. Hey, girl. You know I love you, girl. That's my girl. You being a good girl. Come on, girl. You can't block the camera. We love you. Can't block the camera, girl. Yeah, family. Woo, man. So I got a. That's right. Yep. Yep. Prosperity pro. I mean, from what I read, y'all should be excited. Y'all should really be excited. Matter of fact, let me go to a chapter. Damn. Come on, girl. Now y'all seeing the connection. Look at this chapter. In Nesara. Sage, come on, girl. Come on. You gotta lay down, girl. Come on, girl. Look. They love you, Sage. Hey, girl. Is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good girl. Damn. That's right. Oh yeah, she excited. Shit. All of them showing off in New York City, trying to rub it in our faces. Oh no, Shay. Yeah, she ain't playing. Should I read some of that chapter? You know what? Maybe I should. Meeting with extraterrestrials. Should I do that? Should I read some of this? What's up, B4T? What's going on? I hope y'all know we're going to go live later tonight. All right. Look at the chat that they got in this Nesara book. They said up until now, only the Illuminati held meetings with the extraterrestrials and kept the secret from the populace by organizing projects such as Majestic 12. It said where SWAT teams went outside to visit, anyone who reported seeing an alien craft or aliens, in order to ensure this person either agreed to keep silence or his life, family, reputation will be destroyed. It was very effective. Anyone who talked about the subject was laughed at. This is one of the standard ways to combat information which should not get out. Films about ETs depicted them as aggressive invaders of planet Earth with the intent of abducting humans in order to instill fear to the hearts of mankind. They were pretty successful at that. All of this about to change. There are thousands of craft in the skies these days, from a multitude of planets and galaxies, all eager to make our acquaintance and help us in our development. It said part of Nesara's announcement will be a government admission of past dealing with ETs and confirmation that they do exist, and all of that those currently around the planet are positive and in good content. Yep. They said, what is surprising that there's so much evidence from the past of extraterrestrial activity, but neither scientists nor church officials will speak out about it. Yep. They said the Bible has many references to such happenings, although they did not use the words that we have today. Historical documents have the pictures of spacecraft and astronauts. The secrecy has been very successful. While we were blissfully unaware of it, top government and military officials were receiving advanced technology from the higher realms, most of which they use against us. Let me say it again. While we were blissfully unaware of it, top government and military officials were receiving advanced technology from the higher realms, most of which they used against us. Actual landings were planned to happen worldwide in the spring 2005, but it is now due to the 10 days after the announcement of Nesara. This will be the precursor to the quote-unquote the second coming, which will cause the great consternation of the church. All religions have preached about it, but have never really expected to happen in a lifetime. All the sacred books have stories of extraterrestrial beings and craft. Oddly enough, it has been ignored by all teachers of the church. They said the first landing is to take place in the area of Salt Lake City once the U.S. military orders to shoot down spacecraft have been rescinded and peace has been declared. There will be a simultaneous landing in Vancouver, Canada, and other countries around the world, especially those where they've already been made welcome. The moons are too large to land, so shuttles will be used. The first landing is for PR purposes only, and is unlikely to last more than 30 minutes. Communication with ETs must be by telepathy, and regrettably, not too many people are trained and competent in that skill at that moment. We all have to catch up on that ability. The land project is called quote-unquote the first contact. There have been many under-advertised landers in the past. Yup, especially the one in 1952. Wow. So that's going to be coming. Easy election fraud released today. Wow. Man, this is some, wow. This is deep stuff, man. Wow, man. Wow. Let me try to straighten up. There we go. Now I can really Had my hands free. Yep. So we're going to be seeing this, all type of stuff. That's my girl Sage. Mm-hmm. Man, you know we got to come later tonight with this one, man. Matter of fact, yep. I'm going to read a little bit about what they saying the world after Nesara. They said Nesara begins a huge shift in how our world society operates. We are completing a 5,000-year cycle of what the Tibetans called the Kali Yuga, which loosely translated means an age of darkness. We are moving into a period of enlightenment. Ascended Master Saint Germain spoke to us these times when a shift of the old age of darkness into a new period called the Golden Age will occur. Nesara is the public beginning of the Golden Age he foretold. From conversations with Ascended Master Saint Germain from Unveiled Mysteries by Godfrey Ray King in 1939. They said, quote unquote, the divine plan for the North America is a condition of intense activity in the greatest peace, beauty, success, prosperity, spiritual illumination, and dominion. She is to carry the Christ light and be the guide for the rest of the earth, because America is to be the heart center of the Golden Age that is now dimly touching our horizon. The greater portion of the land North America will stand for a very long time. This has been known for thousands of years, yes, for over 200,000 years. In your beloved America, in the not so far distant future, will come forth a similar recognition of the real inner self. And this is her people will express in her high attainment. She is, listen, they talk about North America, where we at. This is dealing with the indigenous people. She is a land of light, and her light shall blaze forth, brilliant as the sun at noonday, among the nations of the earth. She was a land of the great light ages ago, and will again come into a spiritual heritage. Listen, and nothing shall prevent it. This is prophecy. This is dealing with us. Yup. She is strong with her own mind and body, stronger than you think. And that strength she will exert to rise out, throw off from border to border, all the weighs heavily upon her at the present time. America has a destiny, a great import to the other nations of the earth. And those who have watched over her for centuries still watch. Through their protection and love, she shall fulfill that destiny. America. They ain't saying the United States. They send America. We, the ascended host of light, love and guard you. America, we love you. A similar form of perfect government will come at a later period, when you have cast off sinner fetters within the fang of the fungi and sapped your strength as a vampire. Beloved was in America, be not discouraged when you see when the seeming dark clouds hang low. Every one of them should show you its golden lining. Back of the cloud that seems to threaten, it is the crystal pure light of God, his messengers, the ascended masters of love, perfection, watching over America, the government and her people. Again, I say, America, we love you. One by one, great awakened souls are coming forth. We will become clearly conscious of their own, who will become clearly conscious of their own mighty inherent God power. Let me say it again. One by one, great awakened souls coming forth, who will become clearly conscious of their own mighty inherent God power. And as such of these will be placed in official positions of the government. They will be more interested in the welfare of America than their own personal ambitions and private fortunes. Thus will another golden age reign upon earth and will be maintained for an eon. End quote. Listen to that. The golden age will be maintained for an eon. That's prophecy. Oh, let me read this. Ancient cultures have predicted uplifting improvements, a new distribution of wealth for these times as we shift out of an age of darkness into a golden age. Nesara is the pivotal public event that proclaims the golden age, the shift of the ages. Ancient cultures, which means ancient civilizations are going to come about. They're going to be improved. Ancient civilizations. B Forte told y'all this a long time ago. Hey, Monique, Lemuria, Atlantis. These civilizations, ancient cultures have predicted uplifting improvements. Got you, know, enough. You hear? That's right, along fire. Yep, for eon. The golden age. Oh man. Woo! Look at that. Geophysics, the paradigm shift. Yup. Atlantis rising, the new Syrian revelations. Look. Mm. Mm. Ooh. Man, we're gonna have to come later tonight with this, man. But I'm gonna read y'all one more time what Nesara is going to implement. I mean, just look at what I'm gonna just. Can you imagine? Every American citizen over the age of 21 will receive 100,000 for 11 years. We are witnessing this. Let me read to y'all what Nesara going to implement. Nesara implements the following changes. Zeroes out all credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and investment activities. This is the Federal Reserve's worst nightmare, or jubilee for forgiveness of debt. Abolishes the income tax. Abolishes the IRS. Employees of the IRS will be transferred into the U.S. Treasury National Sales Tax area. Creates a 14% flat rate on non-essential new items only. National sales tax revenue for the government. In other words, food and medicine will not be taxed, nor use items such as old homes. Yep. Increases benefits for senior citizens. Returns constitutional law to all courts and legal matters. Reinstates the original title of nobility amendment. Hundreds of thousands of Americans under the control of foreign powers will lose their citizenship, be deported to other countries, and barred from re-entry for the remainder of their life. And millions will discover that their college degrees are worthless paper. Establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days after Nesara's announcement. The interim government will cancel all national emergencies and return us back to constitutional law. Monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities of special interest groups. creates a new U.S. Treasury rainbow currency backed by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals. Ended the bankruptcy of the United States initiated by Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1933. Forbids the sale of American birth certificate records as chattel property bonds by the United States Department of Transportation. Initiates a new U.S. Treasury bank system in alignment with constitutional law. Eliminates the Federal Reserve System. During the transition period, the Federal Reserve will be allowed to operate side by side of the United States Treasury for 1 year in order to remove all Federal Reserve notes from the money supply. Restores financial privacy. Retrains all judges and attorneys in constitutional law. Seizes all aggressive military actions worldwide. Establishes peace throughout the world. Releases enormous sums of money for humanitarian purposes. Wow, my sister said tears of joy. That's right. Releases enormous sums of money for humanitarian purposes, and enabled the release of over 6,000 patents of suppressed technologies that are being withheld from the public under the guise of national security. Yep, including free energy devices, sonic healing machines, and anti-gravity machines. These machines can reverse your age. Yep, Nesara Gasara is happening. Wow, 5 million government employees quit their jobs. I mean, can you imagine? And mind you, can you imagine 100,000 a month for 11 years for all the shit that they put us through? Shit, we deserve that. Look at that. I'm reading this book. Get them likes up, fam. Get them likes up. We over 300 strong. Get them likes up. Yeah. Look at that. Yep, look at that. Every American citizen. Look at that. 100,000 a month. Look at that. 100,000. And look, this is how much money that they owe us. $250 billion. Look at all them zeros. See my fingers is at? 40 zeros. I'm just saying. Because don't get me wrong, Nesara has a spiritual aspect to it as well. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. They talk about education in here. Yeah, yup. Yup. New government, new education, new everything. This is what I call heaven on earth. The golden age. This was stopped 20 years ago. Now we 20 years later. And I got to tell you this though, man, I'm honored and grateful to read this kind of information. Because we long waited for this day. We long waited for this day, family. Because we are at a time, we are at this right now. No more secrets, no more lies. That's what Nesara is bringing. Secrets, no more lies. Nesara deals with this as well. Nesara ain't just monetarily, it's, this is, this is the shift in humanity. This is a shift in humanity. This is what many of us been praying for. Many of us have been for this. We've been waiting for this. We've been looking for this. Exactly. Thank you, Brandon Reed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We doing this free of charge. We putting out information like this. Exactly, Series 777. Ascension. Ascension. Nesara deals with the ascension. It deals, matter of fact, let me show you. Because this is a series that I got. If they stuck down there, hey, Nesara is dealing with this. So y'all can see him. And my brother Nuff got a book club. All right, got you, Nuff. Thank you. Thank you, C777. You know they always got to do that 43 Coco. Yup. This is dealing with universal law. This plan is all divine. This is a divine plan. This is a divine plan, and this plan is all divine, and it has been set up for a long time. You know what I'm saying? They've been, yup, it's all a divine plan. Because if you take a look at it, of course it goes monetarily because we should be compensated for that. But at the same time, this is about, restoring the world to where it needs to be. Look at the chapters that it deals with. Look at the chapters, what it deals with. Cost of living, other financial matters, business, religion, courts, judges, lawyers of the future, communications, 21st century residential, construction, education, government, health, science, sports, technology, transportation, all of that stuff, the spiritual aspects of Nesara. Yeah, you feel me? This deals with a lot. Exactly, Match and Marie, the real reset. This is all divine. We came back to see this. We came back to see this. We came back at this very time to see this moment in our lifetime. I'm honored to read this. This is heaven on earth for real. A world in peace, in harmony, where no one is suffering. Where no one is suffering. Where we live amongst ourselves in harmony. Because this right here is breaking the illusion. This right here is breaking the illusion. Yup. This is going to be the new world order for real. Not theirs. But the new order is the golden age. The golden age of enlightenment, the age of Aquarius. You talking about something very beautiful. I saw a new heaven and new earth. Revelations break down the word reveal. And I'm going to tell you this. We're going to come to y'all later tonight. And I'm honored and glad to see so many people in this chat. Yeah, y'all hit the like button. Thank you. Y'all get them likes up, family. And, man, I can't even get the words right about now, man. But this is it's a very beautiful time. It's out with the old and with the new. You know, one of these days when I have a child, have a daughter, I probably name her this. I probably name my daughter Nesara. When I have a daughter one day, I probably name her Nesara. Yup, this is what we've been praying for, we've been looking for, we've been fighting for. Oh, thank you, Mindy Joe. How we going to get it? It's going to be distributed. This is what you call generational wealth that was stolen. Your daughter middle name is Nesara? Oh, thank you, Shay Marie. Yup. Yeah, we shall rejoice. I'm going to name my daughter this. When I have a daughter, I'm going to name her this. I came back to read this to y'all. This was part of my assignment. This platform, this was meant to happen. The people that saw my platform, that dropped their knowledge, they meant to be on that. Hell yeah, Jazz Petty. It has to. It's our time. It's our time. It's our time. And trust me, we know people, sources that tell us all the time, this is real. Oh yeah, cause somebody, hey, Music Girls Truth, cause somebody, this is what Dr. Claude Anderson been telling us. You don't think Claude Anderson know about Nesara? This is actually about this damn government falling, this illusion falling. Yup, no more them getting in between the destiny of this right here. And trust me, when we take back this planet, these devils, we going to deal with them. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all been watching. I told y'all to watch the Batman movie. You want to know why? Because if you look at Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, right? If you look at Bane, look at Bane's character. Bane was like Donald Trump, the disruptor. And if you look at it, he went to New York City. What did Bane do? Bane crashed the stock market and he gave the money back to the people. Trump said that same thing in a message. Bane was bringing down the corrupt system. He was on Wall Street, which was the Federal Reserve. Look at the connection. Trump was Bane. Donald Trump was Bane. And Batman, Bane crashed the stock market. Thank you. He crashed the stock market. He said, I'm giving it back to you, the people. He crashed the stock market for the people. That's why he released the people from the prison. Because there was a lot of people in the prison. And the stock market and the prison go hand in hand. You feel me? Thank you, Woodworm. Yup. Bane crashed the stock market. Private prison money, yup. They were using the people as chattel property. Like the damn Federal Reserve. Yup. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, yup. Everybody being treated like cattle. Yeah. Yeah, this is a great bill. Thank you, hopefully let. Thank you, Magic Marie. This is a great bill. Oh, thank you, Brandon Reed. Appreciate it, bruh. You 60-year-old uncle. Appreciate it, brother. And check it out. We're going to come later tonight. We're going to come later tonight. And guess what? We're going to deal with these devils. With this Nesara. With Nesara, we're going to deal with them. Because we're going to restore this thing back. Yup, and them traders who sold us out, we're going to deal with them as well. Because we are going back. We are here to restore the planet. We came back to restore the planet. You know what I'm saying? We came back to restore the planet. Can I list the books? All right, somebody put up the books for Music Girls. Truth, she want to see the books. All right, Music Girl Truth. This is the first two books right here. You can get them off of Amazon. Here you go, Music Girls Truth. I'm holding the books up. I'm gonna hold the first two up. Here the second two. It's by the same lady, Patricia Corey, and you can find these books on Amazon. Hopefully, Lexa, I'm gonna have them all, bro. Thank you, B Forte. Yeah, y'all gotta get them. Oh yeah, no problem. This girl Truth. Oh yeah, this is what we do over here. You know, this is what we do. This is what we do over here. You feel me? And we gonna go live. Nah, that's an act. The National Economic Security Reformation Act. And mind you, we gonna go live on StreamYard tonight. So I definitely will say, thank you, Trey Williams. I definitely will say, on to someday, 20 years later, to all of the victims who have passed, you know, due to this tragedy, you know what I'm saying, you know, to implement something. You know what I mean? This is a very sad situation, man. I definitely will say my heart goes out to everybody who lost their lives in this tragedy. You know, all the innocent lives, you know, around the world and our country and stuff like that. You feel me? You know, you'll never be forgotten and stuff like that. Our ancestors, you will never be forgotten for all the horror that you've been through. You know what I'm saying? It is up to us, man, that we must push this forward. We must push this forward, man. Because we are at that wonderful time. We had a beautiful time. And like I said, on this commemoration day of 9/11, I felt as though I wanted to bring the truth to y'all. And we're going to bring it tonight. And I definitely will say I'm honored and grateful to come towards y'all with this information. You know what I'm saying? May y'all be very blissful, happy, joyful that you came across some great information. Get the books, get the books, get the books. Hearing y'all saying y'all getting the books and y'all gonna read them, it got me more excited. I really hate to jump off here, man, because we on here so strong. But get them likes up. And I want to say thank you for everybody for showing support up in the chat. And if you also follow me on Instagram, bmiles410. My email address is brandonmiles410@yahoo.com. And to support the platform, any miles appreciated. Supreme Ruler has it in the chat. B, you said not yet? You said don't get off not yet? You said don't get off yet? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the boule ain't gonna see this. You said not now, B? I gotta see where my phone percent is at. All right, I'm at 49%. All right, okay. I'll try to stay on a little longer. I'll try to stay on a little longer. Oh man, this is, whew, man. This has been a great build. This build is great, man. Woo! Oh my gosh. Yo, look at the programs. This is the Saint Germain Trust dealing with Nesara. Should I read that to y'all? Y'all should be excited. I seen some people on here jumping for joy. All right, okay, I'm going to read the Saint Germain and the Nesara Trust. All right, the story of how this change will occur takes us back to Tudor England. There was an enigmatic character by the name of Saint Germain. He learned the secrets of alchemy by studying the ancient esoteric knowledge into the occult. That's what B Forte been telling y'all. Studying our shit. Studying our shit. He was literally able to turn lead into gold rocks and then even into diamonds. Wow. See what B Forte put y'all in? Look at that last comment. Yup, into diamonds, and was later able to his mortal body into the immortal angel, conquering death itself. With his elixir of life and positive thinking, he never aged at all. See how they talking about our stuff? Dealing with Nesara, before tape and telling y'all this? We got to go back into our practices. It is the activity of our nerves, the flame of our desire, and the acid of our fears, which daily consume organism. He who succeeds in raising himself above his emotions I'm sorry, let me slow down. He who succeeds in raising himself above his emotions and suppressing himself in anger and the fear of illness is capable of overcoming the attrition of the years and attaining an age at least double at which now men die of old age. That's Saint Germain. Comte Saint Germain. Comte de Saint Germain was noted for rubbing elbows with the monarchies, many of which commented on his elaborate shoes stubbed with $40,000 diamonds and pearls. No one knew the source of his income. Then around 1727, he shared the secret money making techniques with certain German bankers in hopes that they would use the money to help humanity. Using his techniques, they along with monarchists that choose to squander the money for themselves. Even to this day, these bankers have continued to keep this knowledge secret. Eventually, Saint Germain realized that his money was never going to be used for benevolent purposes, so he pulled this money out. And in 1729, he put his money into his own world trust. His own world trust. At the founding of the trust, it was stipulated that his money would be released in the year 2000. Listen, ain't it eye-opening? This is eye-opening stuff. Bankroll programs. Around the turn of the century, the children of the robber barons and the banksters began to see the error in their parents' evilness in their use of their wealth. These 100 children are known as wealthy visionaries. Together, they invested some of their family monies into secret money roll programs to be used for humanitarian purposes. Really, Golden Heart. Prince got a song called 7 about never getting old. Wow, okay. All right, check it out. These bankroll programs allow wealthy investors to make insane profits by ripping off the assets and resources from third world nations. The profits from these programs are utterly astronomical, as monthly returns can be in excess of one of $100,000 and one of $500,000. The name roll programs comes from a method of rolling money over and over in a short periods of time. At the end of each cycle, investors then reinvest or roll the principal and interest earned over in the next cycle. In the late 1990s, the bankroll programs finally ceased. Money earned from the bankroll programs became known as prosperity programs. Over time, the programs were secretly opened up to small investors so that no one can invest as little as $100 at a time. These small programs were handled by trustees who collected the money and kept records and combined the small investments into large amount. Let's say $1 million that was required in order to enter a roll. The news of these programs spread by word of mouth, and especially via multi-level marketers. Thousands of people invested in great wealth was generated, but little, if anything, was ever paid back to investors. Trustees such as Clyde Hood and Mike Kodosky was sent to jail under these charges. Then corruption, greed, and fraud became widespread amongst the bankers, government, and even some trustees who wanted to steal the money for themselves. Even the Bush family had their hands in the pot. Using promised software, they could transfer stolen funds without being traced. Many have died because of this, well, but God has another plan for humanity. The time has now come. The time has now come to release the prosperity funds and the funds from St. Germain's World Trust. This money will be used to buy out all corporations, banks, pharmaceutical cartels, zero out all debt. 250 years of compound interest has mushroomed the World Trust into a net worth in excess of $1 quadrillion. That's one with 40 zeros behind it. I'm gonna show y'all it again. Look at that. Look at the number. Look at that. 40 zeros. Jeez. Bruh. That's wealth beyond comprehension. That's what I call generational. That's wealth for eons. $40 zeros. Somebody get it's Ryan, you fool. Mm. 40 zeros. Yo, the money from the World Trust will be distributed in the following manner. Look at this. This is how the money going to be distributed. They showing y'all. Thank you, Alone Fire. Look at that. These are the steps they're going to take to distribute the money. Look at the plan. Look. Level 1, the World Trust. Level 1, the World Trust. Under the trusteeship of Master what page? That's in Nesara 1, that's on page 108, Brian Bonner. That's on page 108. Under the trusteeship of Master Saint Germain, at his direction, the World Trust can be activated for payout only 2 times during any given year, Easter and Christmas. At Saint Germain's orders, the World Court activates the funding process. This process continues down through the 4 levels of trust of the people, and under certain conditions, the funding window remains open to the next holiday funding window begins. For example, if the Easter window is activated, the window can remain open till December 24th, the day before Christmas, at which time closes. The window remains open. Only significant funds are moving to certain designated trusts during a set period of time. If not, the funding window closes where such deadlines are not met. All right, level 2, 180 World Trusts under the control of trustees in various sovereign countries. Examples are the French Trust, the Russian Trust, and the Vatican Trust. Which means they're gonna take all their money out. Yup. Level 3, the Family Trust. Under the control of trustees, the world's wealthiest families. Examples are Bronfman, Wahlberg, Morgan, Rothschild, and Rockefeller. Give us all our goddamn money. Give us all of that back. Take all away. Level 4, 250 corporate trusts. Under the control of trustees from powerful companies and corporations. Examples are General Electric, Lockheed, General Motors, Boeing, Carnegie, Ford, Marriott, AT&T. They are 4 to 5 trustees per trust, which means there are approximately 1,200 trustees must sign documents to move money through these trusts. Jeez. Level 5, the Prosperity Program Trust, which represents the various 7075 bankroll programs which are under the control of designated program trustees. Again, they are 4 to 5 trustees per trust, or some 350 persons who must sign documents to activate these trusts. Some examples include Bergevin, Yup, Burgerveen, SBC, ITI, Savage, Morgan, Omega, and Freedom. These large trusts is freedom. The largest trust is freedom, and it must be funded first. It is the trust that holds the wealth from the elite and robber baron children, which means they're going to take all the money from the people who's been robbing us and give it back to us. That is what they're doing. All of the blood, the sweat, and the tears that we have suffered as a people, and the rest of the people worldwide, they're going to take away all that money. Catch me outside, bitch. You owe us, bitches. You owe us, bitches. You definitely do. I don't care if I'm cussed. You owe us, bitches. And finally, the release. Finally, the funds will be released to the common man. As the funds pass through each trust, the trustees must use only certain designated safe banks and sign the proper documents with only certain designated banking personnel at those banks. Should this process be activated and then be stalled by deceitful bankers, these deceitful trustees, etc., and the deadlines for funding to reach certain trusts are not met, the funding window then closed. This is the problem. Members of the Bush family are blocking the release of these funds to the common man. And there's a spiritual aspect to Nesara. And if you'd like to support the channel, y'all can donate to the platform. Any amount's appreciated. The Fall of the Cabal 2 is on. Thank you, Nuff. Thank you, Supreme Ruler, for putting up the links. Oh man, this is beautiful, man. And if you want, they got sources in the back where you can look up the information. This is how you research as well. You can look at the back of the sources where they find the information on your research. Man, I'm starting to get hungry. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm starting to get hungry. You understand? Yep. And guess what? All them damn criminals, we gonna hold court. Guess what? The 2/3, you ain't gonna see this. The 2/3 ain't gonna see this. I mean, look at this, man. They even go into the facts about 9/11. Startling facts about 9/11. See that? They got amazing facts. Really slap our card? Wow. See that? This is what they did to our innocent people over here, man, to stop this. This is why 9/11 happened, to stop this act. I know this is horrifying and tragic, but this is what you need to see. Because this act of treason, these fucking devils, stop this. PayPal. PayPal is www.paypal.me/bmouse84. Telling you, bud. www.paypal.me/bmouse84. Yeah, man, this is pure evil. But you're seeing why. You were seeing why they did this. And they even talk about business. Business. Yep. That's right, Nuff. Mm. Damn. Man, oh man. I know. This is a lot to take in. Yeah, it really is. This is a lot to take in. But I wanted to give y'all a nice meal. You know what I mean? I know this was a heavy meal. I know this was a very heavy meal, but this was some great info. And we're going to come to y'all later tonight. And they talking about ETs in here. Come on. They had to study some of our information. They had to. Thank you. Hopefully, like, share, subscribe, get the books information. Man, woo! I ain't gonna lie, your man B Mouse is getting hungry. Yeah, man. This is the change, man. That we've been waiting for, we've been wanting, man. And like I said, I'm glad and grateful to come to y'all, early on this day, man, of the commemoration 9/11, and I hope that answers a lot of y'all questions. But trust me, it's way more information. I'm just scratching. Look, I'm scratching the surface on this. You feel me? Man. You welcome, Brian Barner. Oh yeah, thank y'all, man. I thank y'all for being patient. Y'all getting them likes up, man. Thank you for the support up in the chat. Thank you for the supports up in the chat. Oh man, yeah, I'm about to go get something to eat, man. My mind is like, you hungry? My stomach calling. But as I said, man, I really want to say, before I jump off of here, I definitely want to say, peace, everybody that's on here. I ask that you will cover us in your protection, keep us safe from hurt, harm, and danger. May the ones who died on this tragedy, may they be blessed. I'm saying, may their families be blessed, and I definitely will say them, who passed away from this tragedy, from such a beautiful thing to bring prosperity. I just ask that, may those ancestors be with us, watch over us, and even also just keep us guided as a nation, and we keep on fighting the forces of these devils of evil, night and day. Ashe. I want to say thank y'all, family, for this great live stream and some great info. Oh man, it's been very fulfilling. But your man got to go get something to eat. Yeah, just rest my mind a little bit. That was a lot of info that I read. It's way more to go, but I definitely will say I'm honored and grateful. Yeah, man, I'm honored and grateful, man. So people can, I'm honored and grateful to come with this information, man. It's a great time to live in. So yeah, fam, peace and love. You know what I'm saying? Ashe, peace. Have a wonderful day, and we're going to see y'all later on live stream tonight. We're going to continue the information. Y'all be strapped in. Y'all be locked in. We're going to go to this tonight. Bring your books. We're going to bring the books. We're going to bring more information. So y'all get ready. One love once again. Peace.